Have you ever found yourself walking into a room and then, just like that, forgetting why you went in there in the first place? Or maybe you're trying to recall a familiar name and it feels like it's right on the tip of your tongue, but it just won't surface? It's a common experience, especially as we get a little older, and it can be a bit unsettling, can't it? We start to wonder if these little slips are just normal signs of aging or if they're pointing to something more. The truth is, while some changes are a natural part of getting older, many of the memory fogs and mental slowdowns we experience aren't inevitable. In fact, sometimes we might be inadvertently making habits that actually accelerate the aging process of our brains, without even realizing it. It's a thought that can be a bit daunting, but here's the good news. Just as certain habits can contribute to brain aging, there are incredibly powerful and often simple steps we can take to reverse those trends and actually sharpen our minds. Imagine feeling clearer, more focused, and more confident in your memory, no matter your age. That's what we're going to explore today. In this video, we're going to dive into 3 common, yet often overlooked brain aging mistakes that many people over 60 make. But more importantly, we're not just going to point out the problems. We're going to talk about practical, easy-to-implement ways to reverse them, starting today, so you can enjoy a sharper, more vibrant mind. Think of it as a gentle guide to nurturing your most vital organ, your brain. We'll unravel these mistakes, understand why they happen, and then arm you with the tools to truly make a difference in your cognitive health. So let's jump right into the first common brain aging mistake. And this one might surprise you because it's something many of us unknowingly do every single day, often with the best intentions. It's the mistake of understimulating your brain with routine. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Routine is good, right? It brings comfort, predictability, and a sense of calm. And absolutely, a certain level of routine is wonderful. But there's a subtle trap here, especially as we age. When our days become too predictable, too repetitive, our brains can actually start to coast. They don't get the new challenges, the novel experiences, or the fresh information they need to build new connections and maintain their vitality. It's like a muscle that isn't being exercised. It simply won't stay as strong. Think about it. When you were younger, perhaps you were constantly learning new things for work, adapting to new technologies, or navigating new social situations. Your brain was always on, always figuring things out. But as we transition into retirement or a more settled lifestyle, our routines can become deeply ingrained. We take the same route to the grocery store, read the same type of books, watch the same TV shows, and engage in the same conversations. While this offers comfort, it deprives our brains of the very thing they thrive on: novelty and challenge. Your brain needs to be constantly fed with new information and forced to adapt, to think in new ways, to solve little puzzles. This process, often called neuroplasticity, is how our brains stay agile and continue to grow, even as we get older. When we don't engage in new learning or experiences, those pathways can start to weaken. It's not about grand, dramatic changes. It's about tiny shifts that introduce novelty. So how do we reverse this mistake of understimulation? It's simpler than you might imagine, and it doesn't require going back to school or taking up skydiving, unless you want to. The key is to consciously introduce small doses of novelty and learning into your daily life. Start with something as simple as taking a different route on your daily walk, even if it's just around the block the other way. Try a new recipe that uses ingredients you've never cooked with before. Learn a few phrases in a new language. There are so many free apps out there that make it fun and easy. Pick up a book on a subject you know absolutely nothing about. Engage in a hobby that requires problem solving, like a jigsaw puzzle, a new craft, or even strategic board games. The goal is to gently push your brain out of its comfort zone, even for a few minutes each day. These small acts of novelty create new neural pathways and strengthen existing ones, keeping your brain sharp and engaged. It's about curiosity and a willingness to explore, and it's a powerful antidote to brain aging. Now let's move on to the second common brain aging mistake: And this one is deeply tied to our modern lifestyles. It's the mistake of chronic low-grade inflammation. You might be thinking, inflammation? Isn't that what happens when I sprain my ankle? And yes, acute inflammation is our body's healthy response to injury or infection. But what I'm talking about here is different. It's a persistent, subtle level of inflammation that simmers quietly throughout your body, often unnoticed, but constantly causing damage over time. And it has a profound impact on your brain health. Think of it like a tiny, constant fire smoldering in your system, slowly eroding cells and connections in your brain. This kind of chronic inflammation is a major culprit in cognitive decline and conditions like Alzheimer's. So, what causes this hidden enemy? A big part of it comes down to what we put into our bodies. Our modern diets, unfortunately, are often packed with ingredients that fuel this inflammatory fire. We're talking about things like highly processed foods, which are often loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy trans fats, and an excess of certain omega-6 fatty acids found in many vegetable oils. These ingredients, while convenient and often tasty, act like kindling for that internal inflammatory response. Another major contributor is a lack of sleep. When you don't get enough restful sleep, your body is essentially in a state of stress, which can trigger and maintain chronic inflammation. And then there's stress itself. Persistent emotional or psychological stress can also keep your inflammatory markers elevated. It's a vicious cycle where these factors feed into each other, creating an environment that isn't conducive to optimal brain function. The good news is that reversing chronic inflammation is entirely within your control, and the changes you make will benefit not just your brain, but your entire body. The most powerful tool we have against inflammation is our diet. It's about shifting towards an anti-inflammatory eating pattern. What does that look like? Think vibrant, colorful whole foods. Load up on fruits and vegetables, especially berries, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, which are packed with antioxidants. Embrace healthy fats from sources like avocados, olive oil, and fatty fish rich in omega-3s, like salmon and mackerel. These healthy fats are like natural firefighters, helping to quell inflammation. Include plenty of fiber-rich whole grains and legumes, which support a healthy gut microbiome. And a healthy gut is intimately linked to a healthy brain and lower inflammation. Minimize processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats as much as possible. Beyond diet, prioritize quality sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep each night. Establish a consistent sleep schedule. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. And make your bedroom a sanctuary for rest. And finally, find healthy ways to manage stress. Whether it's through mindfulness, meditation, gentle exercise, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones, actively reducing stress levels can significantly lower chronic inflammation. These aren't just suggestions, they are powerful, proven strategies that can truly turn the tide against brain aging caused by inflammation. Now that we've covered the mistakes of understimulating your brain with too much routine and fueling chronic inflammation, let's move on to our third and final brain aging mistake. The mistake of social isolation and lack of purpose. This might sound a little less scientific than brain stimulation or inflammation, but believe me, its impact on your cognitive health is just as profound, if not more so. We are, at our core, social creatures. Our brains are wired for connection, for interaction, and for feeling like we contribute to something larger than ourselves. When we start to withdraw, to spend more and more time alone, or when we feel a diminished sense of purpose in our daily lives, our brains can truly suffer. It's not just about feeling lonely. It's about the very architecture and function of your brain. Think about the rich tapestry of interactions you've had throughout your life, the conversations, the problem-solving with others, the laughter, the shared experiences, even the occasional friendly debate. Each of these moments engages multiple parts of your brain: language centers, memory, emotional processing, and executive function. When those interactions dwindle, your brain gets less of that vital workout. It's like a complex machine that's designed to be used with other machines, but suddenly finds itself sitting idle. Furthermore, feeling a lack of purpose can lead to a general decline in engagement with life. When there's no clear goal or reason to get up and be active, mentally and physically, it can lead to a cycle of disengagement, which in turn impacts motivation, curiosity, and ultimately, brain health. Studies have consistently shown a strong link between social isolation and an increased risk of cognitive decline and dementia. It's not just about having friends, it's about feeling connected, valued, and having a reason to engage with the world around you. So how do we reverse this mistake of social isolation and lack of purpose? This isn't about forcing yourself into uncomfortable situations or suddenly becoming the life of every party. It's about intentionally seeking out opportunities for meaningful connection and finding activities that ignite a sense of value and contribution within you. Start small, just like with the other habits. One powerful way is to simply reach out to people you already know but perhaps haven't connected with recently. A phone call, a text message, or even a short email to an old friend or family member can reignite a connection. Suggest a short coffee date or a walk in the park. These aren't just social calls. They are brain-boosting exercises, engaging your memory, language, and emotional intelligence. Beyond existing relationships, consider actively looking for new opportunities to connect. Local community centers often have programs tailored for seniors. Anything from book clubs and art classes to walking groups and volunteer opportunities. Think about your interests and passions. Do you love to read? Join a book club. Are you passionate about a cause? Volunteer your time. Do you enjoy learning? Enroll in a short course, perhaps at a local college or online. These activities not only provide social interaction, but also give you a renewed sense of purpose and learning, which ties back to our first mistake of understimulation. Volunteering in particular is incredibly powerful. It not only offers social engagement, but also gives you a profound sense of meaning and contribution, which is a huge boost for mental well-being and cognitive function. It shifts your focus from what you might be losing to what you can still give. Another often overlooked aspect of reversing social isolation is connecting with younger generations. Grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or even mentorship programs can provide incredibly rich and stimulating interactions. The dynamic is different, the conversations are fresh, and it offers new perspectives that can keep your brain agile and adaptable. Think about sharing your life experiences, your wisdom, or even just teaching a skill you've mastered. This cross-generational exchange is beneficial for both sides and provides a unique form of brain stimulation. It's about breaking down barriers and finding common ground, which is a fantastic mental exercise in itself. Moreover, if mobility is a concern, or if getting out and about is challenging, technology can be a wonderful bridge to connection. Video calls with family and friends, joining online interest groups, or even participating in virtual classes can provide significant social engagement. It's not a replacement for in-person interaction, but it's a powerful tool to prevent complete isolation. The key is to be proactive and intentional. Don't wait for invitations. Create your own opportunities for connection and purpose. Remember, every time you engage in meaningful social interaction, you are literally strengthening your brain's networks and improving its resilience against aging. It's not about how many friends you have, but the quality and consistency of your connections, and the sense of belonging and contribution you feel. This sense of purpose and connection fuels a positive feedback loop. The more engaged you are, the more mental energy you have, and the more motivated you are to stay connected. So we've explored 3 crucial brain aging mistakes. Letting your brain get stuck in too much routine, allowing chronic inflammation to simmer internally, and falling into social isolation with a diminished sense of purpose. For each one, we've talked about tangible, gentle shifts you can make to reverse these trends. The beauty of these strategies is that they are interconnected. When you eat better, you reduce inflammation, which can improve your energy and mood, making you more inclined to socialize. When you learn something new, you're stimulating your brain, and often new learning involves connecting with others. When you find purpose through volunteering, you are socially engaged and mentally stimulated. It's like a beautifully designed system where each positive change reinforces the others, creating a powerful upward spiral for your brain health. These aren't quick fixes or magic pills. They are lifestyle adjustments, small conscious choices made consistently over time that accumulate into profound benefits for your cognitive well-being. It's about cultivating a lifestyle that actively supports your brain, rather than passively letting it age. The exciting part is that your brain is incredibly adaptable, incredibly resilient. It retains its capacity for growth and change throughout your entire life. It's never too late to start making these positive shifts, and the sooner you begin, the more pronounced the benefits will be. You truly have the power to influence your brain's future, and that's an incredibly empowering thought. Now, as we wrap up our discussion on these 3 crucial mistakes and their reversals, let's bring it all together and reinforce just how impactful these simple habits can be for living your best life with a sharp, vibrant mind, no matter your age. It's about cultivating a lifestyle that actively supports your brain, rather than passively letting it age. The exciting part is that your brain is incredibly adaptable, incredibly resilient. It retains its capacity for growth and change throughout your entire life. It's never too late to start making these positive shifts, and the sooner you begin, the more pronounced the benefits will be. You truly have the power to influence your brain's future, and that's an incredibly empowering thought. Now, as we wrap up our discussion on these 3 crucial mistakes and their reversals, let's bring it all together and reinforce just how impactful these simple habits can be for living your best life with a sharp, vibrant mind, no matter your age. We've talked about how allowing your brain to get stuck in too much routine, not seeking out new experiences or challenges, can lead to it becoming less agile. The beautiful remedy for this is to simply inject more novelty into your life. Learn a few words of a new language, try a different hobby, take a new route for your walk. These small bursts of new information and problem solving are like vital fuel for your brain's growth and ability to adapt. Your brain loves to learn, and it loves to be challenged, and it rewards you by staying sharp. Then we delved into the often hidden enemy, chronic, low-grade inflammation. This silent fire, fueled by highly processed foods, poor sleep, and unmanaged stress, can slowly but surely erode your brain's delicate structures and connections. The powerful reversal here lies mainly in what you choose to eat, embracing vibrant, whole, anti-inflammatory foods like colorful fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, and whole grains. It also involves prioritizing restful sleep and actively managing your stress levels. Every nourishing meal, every hour of quality sleep, every moment of calm you cultivate is a step towards cooling that inflammatory fire and protecting your precious brain cells. It's a profound act of self-care that pays dividends in mental clarity and long-term cognitive health. And finally, we explored the impact of social isolation and a diminished sense of purpose. How being alone too much and feeling disconnected can leave your brain underutilized and even disheartened. The antidote is meaningful connection and finding activities that give you a sense of value and contribution. Whether it's reaching out to an old friend, joining a community group, volunteering for a cause you care about, or simply engaging with younger generations, these interactions provide vital mental stimulation and emotional nourishment. Feeling connected, having a reason to engage with the world, and knowing you make a difference are incredibly powerful stimulants for your brain and your overall well-being. Your brain thrives on interaction, on conversation, on sharing and learning from others. It's important to remember that you don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. The most effective changes are often the small, consistent ones. Pick one area that resonates most with you from what we've discussed today. Maybe it's trying one new recipe a week, or calling one family member you haven't spoken to in a while, or committing to getting to bed an hour earlier a few nights a week. Start there. As you experience the positive shifts, as you feel a little clearer, a little sharper, a little more connected, that momentum will naturally build. and you'll find yourself effortlessly incorporating more of these brain-boosting habits into your daily life. Think of your brain as a garden. If you neglect it, let weeds grow, and don't give it water or nourishment, it won't flourish. But if you tend to it with care, give it the right nutrients, introduce new seeds, and protect it from harmful elements, it will bloom beautifully. You are the gardener of your own brain, and you have all the tools you need to make it thrive. These aren't just tips for avoiding memory loss. They are strategies for living a richer, more engaged, and more fulfilling life, where your mind remains your powerful ally, supporting you in all your endeavors. So I truly hope that today's conversation has given you some valuable insights and, more importantly, a sense of empowerment. Your brain health is not predetermined. It's something you can actively influence, starting right now. What's one small change you're inspired to make this week to support your brain? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Perhaps you have your own tried and true methods for keeping your mind sharp, or maybe you're just starting on this journey and have questions. Let's create a supportive community where we can all share and learn from each other. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please do us a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps our channel reach more people who can benefit from this information. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Good Health, Good Life for more practical advice and positive insights on living your best life at any age. We're here to support you on your journey to vibrant health and lasting happiness. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, every day is an opportunity to make choices that nourish your mind and uplift your spirit. Here's to living your best life with a sharp mind and a happy heart at every age. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.